many New Yorkers saw their democracy fail them during this pandemic.
Lawmakers in Albany called today's hearing after tens of thousands of absentee ballots were disqualified during the June primary. The problem was especially poignant in the city, where more than 80,000 absentee ballots were tossed, about 20% of all ballots cast by mail due to issues with signatures and postmarking. We found out today this is actually common. People just didn't notice up until this year when the pandemic increased voting by mail exponentially.
The percentages are in keeping with board expectation. For example, in the 2016 presidential primary, 21% of absentee ballot oath envelopes were deemed to be invalid.
A slate of new election laws to improve the situation now await Governor Cuomo's signature, and currently election officials are scrambling to redesign ballot envelopes so people notice the signature line. In New York City specifically, absentee ballot drop boxes will be added to polling locations so you can make sure that last-minute vote gets counted. State election officials were also pressed about why so many ballots did not even get sent to voters on time. They say about half of people applied for absentee ballots only a week to 10 days before Election Day, making the task extremely difficult.
Realistically, that time is not sufficient to turn around a ballot, get it out to the voter, and get it back to the board in a timely fashion.
Election officials also dumped blame on the post office. New Postmaster General and big-time Trump donor Louis DeJoy's reorganization and slashing of overtime has been of concern to Democrats especially. The state election board recommends applying for your November ballot online as soon as possible and sending it back immediately. They admitted New York will not be completely ready for November.
There are states that do all mail-in ballots, but it took them years to transition to that. It took them years to put into place the procedures, the infrastructure, and the process for millions of paper ballots. And it took them years to educate their voters on how to vote by mail.